Hello everyone, welcome to Technical Gupta YouTube channel. In this video we will talk about the model validation. In the API, when you submit data to the server to save it in the post call, we use model validation. Model validation plays an important role to validate your user inputs. What are different kind of a model validation? One is a client side and another is a server side. Client side validation occur in the client machine. It normally done with the help of the JavaScript. We write some JavaScript code to identify if I'm talking about the user model, like name cannot be empty, full name, and the password field will have some kind of a restriction. Then the email field should have the valid email. So these kind of a client side validation we do with the help of a JavaScript. But when we comes under the API, we use server side validation. We have a one wonderful class which is a data annotation class. Data annotation class, with this class we can use the attribute on the top of a property. Let's suppose I have one property username and I want to use some kind of a validation. First validation is that if username is empty, then show the message username is required, and the username should have minimum 6 length character and maximum 20, and if you provide input outside this range, then it will show this message: username must be the 6 and 20 character long. By this technique, by this validation attribute, the developer role become easy to implement the validation. Prior to this, we have to write the manual code. If I show you the required definition of a required, here required attribute is derived from the validation attribute, and the validation attribute class has one override method which is isValid. You can see the name, like it has the override. That means in the child class we are overriding the base class method which is isValid. Here it's checking whether the value should not be null, okay, and it should not contain the white space. That means it required some value in the property if it has to pass through the required attribute. Same way we have a full name. If full name is empty, it will say full name is required, and same for the email address. This is the email, and this property email should contain the valid email ID. That's why we have using the email address. If you see the email address and there is some kind of a validation for a particular email, and it should pass based upon that. Same way with the passwords and the phone number and the age. Age should be between 18 to 100, or otherwise it will give you this error message. We have the URL attribute, and then we have the password. We have two properties, one is a password and another is a confirm password. First property, password, the minimum length is 8, maximum is 100, and this is required, and the confirm password should match with the password. With the help of this data annotation, the job of developer become easily, because developer has not to write any code, okay, regarding these basic validation. And how you will implement this? So I have created one post endpoint which accept a user object from the body, and here it is checking whether the model is valid or not. If it's invalid, I am returning the bad request, and if it's passing all the validation, it will add to the repository. So let's test this. So this is the Swagger page. First we will check the get API. So while running this, I get this one data. So let's post sorry, my bad. So I will use the post API to validate the data, to add data to the system. So ID will be the one, username will be this one. So first I will show you, let's suppose I have made the password something like this. So you can see the bad request, because password is required to 8 to 10 character long. So same way, if I pass the age as 1 and try to execute this, you will see that, so I will get all the list of validation messages. So this is the benefit of a built-in data annotation class. And if I don't pass the password, and if I try to run this, see, password field is required, the password must be 8 and 10 character long, and again password and confirm password do not match. So you can see over here. So regarding the email, if I pass something like this, if I pass the wrong email, let's suppose I have removed the @ so in the URL, and I try to run this, so you will see the website. So this is also again invalid, email is not valid. So developer has not to write any code regarding the validation. So this everything will be done by the .NET. And let's test with the valid data. So if I pass the valid data with ID 1, and this is the EA, and try to execute this, so this is saved and we get the 201. That means the API is successful. And we will test, we have added the ID 1, so we will test the get API to validate the response. So you can see this one is added, the ID 1. So this is the whole concept of a data validation. So hope you like the video, and if you have any questions, so you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you. Bye.